Welcome to Staff Works Explained. If you are here for the first time, please consider subscribing to this channel. For the repeat viewers, we thank you for your support. In today's video, we'll be talking about the fourth round of Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam talks. We'll see whether how they'll fare and what will happen if these talks fail. As we know, Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is a hydroelectric dam that is being built on Blue River Nile in Ethiopia. Egypt and Sudan, which are downstream countries, have expressed concern about the dam's potential impact on their water supplies. Negotiations over the dam have been ongoing for several years, but they have been largely unsuccessful. Egypt's primary concern regarding the dam is the potential reduction in its water flow from the river Nile. The Nile is Egypt's lifeline. It provides 90% of its fresh water needs. Egypt fears that the dam could reduce the flow of the Nile by up to 20%, which would have a devastating impact on its agriculture, economy, and population. Egypt is also concerned about the potential of the dam to cause flooding downstream. The dam's reservoir could hold up to 74 billion cubic meters of water, which is equivalent to annual flow of the Nile. If the dam were to be released, a large amount of water would cause flooding in downstream countries, that is Sudan and Egypt. In addition to these concerns, Egypt is also worried about lack of transparency and cooperation from Ethiopia. Egypt accuses Ethiopia of refusing to share detailed information about the dam design, operation, and this has added to its fear of these concerns. Although Ethiopia has denied these claims, saying that it has provided all the details that are required for them to understand this project. Sudan's position on the dam has been evolving over time. Initially, Sudan was supportive of the dam, viewing it as a potential source of electricity and irrigation. However, as the project has progressed, Sudan has raised concern about the potential impacts of the dam on its water security. Sudan's main concerns are related to the dam's potential to reduce flow of the river, which is the main source of water for the country. Sudan is worried that the dam could lead to water shortages and drought in its eastern and northern regions. Additionally, Sudan is concerned about the potential for the dam to cause flooding downstream. Ethiopia sees the project as a crucial component for its economic development, arguing that the dam will not cause significant harm to downstream countries and will provide electricity for its population. Ethiopia has stated that it's committed to minimizing impacts on the downstream countries. However, Egypt remains skeptical for Ethiopia's intentions, and the two countries have been unable to reach an agreement on how the dam will be managed. There has been disputes over the speed at which Ethiopia is filling the dam or the reservoir. Egypt and Sudan are concerned that the rapid filling could worsen water scarcity downstream during the process. Discussions around the timeline for filling the dam and implementation of mitigation measures to address concerns from downstream countries have been source of contention. Disputes have arisen over the negotiation process itself, with a disagreement on the role of mediators and international organizations. Ethiopia wanted an African deal or an African-led process, where Egypt wanted a process that is led by other players, and has even sought help from the United Nations, United States, Arab League of Nations, among other parties. With the talks generally failing previously, now the parties involved have renewed talks. In July 2023, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed agreed to resume negotiations on the Gerd. The talks were aimed at reaching a binding agreement on the filling and operation of the dam. There has been several rounds of the talks, actually 3. The first round was between October 23rd and 25th, and this was held in Cairo. This round of negotiations was focused on establishing a timetable and a framework for these talks. Then there was a round two talk which was held in Addis Ababa, and this round focused on discussing the technical aspects of the dam. There was third round, and this round focused on discussing the legal aspects of the Gerd, and so far there has no been binding agreement. The talks have been making slow progress, but there has been some positive development. The three countries have made some progress on technical issues, but there are still some outstanding issues that need to be resolved before a final agreement can be reached. The next round of talks are scheduled to take place in Addis Ababa sometimes in December. The discussion between the three countries aim to accelerate the finalization of an agreement regarding the rules for filling and operation of the dam. Although the dam now has been filled 4 times, the parties stress that they are committed to reaching a win-win outcome based on the cardinal principle of equitable and reasonable utilization of the River Nile. The Egyptian government said that the first 2 rounds showed no change in the Ethiopian stance. Egypt seeks a legally binding agreement governing the filling and the operating of the dam that ensures that its water security and interests of Ethiopia and Sudan. The recently revived talks are first negotiations since the sponsored African Union talks collapsed in April 2021. A new round of negotiations concerning the Gerd, the 4th round, is expected to begin in December, and this will involve the 3 countries, Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt. The talks, as we have said, aim at reaching a legal agreement over the operating of the dam, following the 3rd round of negotiations that have already been done in 2 countries. Experts considered the 4th round as the last chance to resolve the outstanding difference between the 3 countries. The Egyptian Ministry of Water Resources and Irrigation announced that the meeting would be held in Addis Ababa to complete the negotiation process that began over the 2 months and reach an agreement on the filling and operation rules. The ministry indicated that Cairo meeting was based on talks between the 3 countries to accelerate the process of reaching an agreement following a meeting between leaders of Egypt and Ethiopia on July 13th. Professor of Geology and Water Resources at Cairo University, Abbas Sharak, believes that the next round of negotiations will be the 4th and probably the last chance to reach an agreement. Sharaki believes that the 3 countries will be unable to reach a common ground, noting that Egypt has been negotiating for 12 years, but Ethiopian position has largely remained unchanged. He has told reporters that over 4 years Egypt has stored 41 billion cubic meters of water, noting that the dam is said to keep 24 billion cubic meters. Sharaki says that if the related countries fail to reach an agreement, Ethiopia could store the remaining 23 billion cubic meters of water next year, and this, as he said, would impact the downstream countries. Egypt and Sudan demand a binding legal agreement regulating the filling and operating of the dam, Ethiopia, which is the dam which is being built by Ethiopia. They say that the dam could reduce water supplies to the 2 countries and cause environmental and economic damages. Ethiopia defends its position, saying that it has the right to develop and generate electricity to meet its people needs. Sharaki believes that possible scenario after failed 4th round would include announcement by the relevant technical committees that negotiations have reached a dead end, and the political leadership would then discuss the matter and take the necessary steps. Sharaki suggests that another scenario could see the return of Egypt and Sudan to the Security Council to discuss the issues of the dam, being a threat to the 2 countries. So we'll be following up to see how these talks, whether they are going to reach an agreement, whether they are going to agree on how to proceed, especially with operation of the dam. So thank you for reaching this far. You can watch other videos that you have done. You can also leave a comment. Thank you.